Bove stated that DOJ would need to consider telling the courts, fuck you, and ignoring any such court order. Did you say anything of that kind in the meeting?
Senator, I have no recollection of saying anything of that kind. To the extent I
Wouldn't you recall, Mr. Bove, if you said or suggested during a meeting with Justice Department lawyers that maybe they should consider telling the court, fuck you? It seems to me that would be something you'd remember unless that's the kind of thing you say frequently.
Well, I've certainly said things encouraging.
What happens when Donald Trump's handpicked nominee for the Justice Department is accused of telling his own lawyers to ignore a federal judge and basically say, screw the courts? That's exactly the bombshell allegations surrounding Trump's nominee, Bove. A whistleblower says he crossed every ethical red line, ignoring court orders, pushing secret flights, and even pressuring prosecutors to drop corruption cases. This isn't just about one man's memory. It's about whether Trump is trying to install someone at the DOJ who's willing to bend the law for him. Stick with me because what came out in this hearing is jaw-dropping, and you'll want to hear every detail.
Turn to the meeting that Mr. Ruvani, the whistleblower, has written an extensive complaint about. The hearing started with the chairman reading a social media post by the Deputy Attorney General Blanche, who is present today but not under oath, nor is that social media post under oath. So let me ask you, since you are under oath, in the complaint it says, Bove stated that DOJ would need to consider telling the courts, fuck you, and ignoring any such court order. Did you say anything of that kind in the meeting?
Senator, I have no recollection of saying anything of that kind. To the extent I
Wouldn't you recall, Mr. Bove, if you said or suggested during a meeting with Justice Department lawyers that maybe they should consider telling the court, fuck you? It seems to me that would be something you'd remember unless that's the kind of thing you say frequently.
Well, I've certainly said things encouraging litigators at the department to fight hard for valid positions that we have to take in defense of our clients.
And have you frequently suggested that they say fuck you and ignore court orders? Is that also something you frequently do, such you might not remember doing it on this occasion?
No, and as I explained, I have never directed.
So did you or did you not make those comments during that meeting?
Which comments, Senator?
You really need me to repeat it? Did you suggest, as Mr. Ruvani wrote, that DOJ would need to consider telling the courts, fuck you, and ignore any such court order?
I did not suggest that there would be any need to consider ignoring court orders. At the point of that meeting, there were no court orders to discuss.
Well, did you suggest telling the courts, fuck you, in any manner?
I don't recall.
You just don't remember that. Well, let me ask you this. It also says in the complaint, Bove indicated and stressed to all in attendance that the planes needed to take off no matter what. These are the planes that a judge was ordering not be used to render people to a maximum security prison outside the country. Did you say during that meeting, did you stress to all in attendance that the planes needed to take off no matter what?
Senator, your characterization is not accurate.
It's not my characterization. It's the characterization of a decorated prosecutor who was in that meeting. Are you saying that he's lying?
As I said at the beginning of the hearing.
No, I'm not interested in what you said at the beginning of the hearing. I'm interested in whether you stressed to people in attendance that the planes needed to take off no matter what. Did you say that?
I certainly conveyed the importance of the upcoming operation.
Well, don't paraphrase here. Did you tell people in attendance the planes needed to take off no matter what?
I don't recall the specific words that I used.
Wouldn't you recall saying that if you had instructed that the planes needed to take off no matter what, including whether the court ordered otherwise? You wouldn't remember that?
This is a mischaracterization, Senator. There were no court orders at this point.
Well, there was a court order, wasn't there?
No.
Wasn't there a court order by Judge Boasberg, if not in this specific case, then in related cases, that people not be sent out of the country until the court could rule? Wasn't there a court order?
Not at the time of that meeting, Senator.
Did you participate in the decision not to disseminate that oral court order prior to the written court order to other agencies so those planes would not take off, so those planes would turn around? Were you involved in the decision to withhold that court order from the responsible agencies?
I think it's clear that I participated.
Yes or no?
I participated in this matter, and I'm not going to get into the contents of legal advice. I did, over the course of time, as many lawyers have.
No, I'm not
provide
interested in
advice
over
about
the course of
scope
time. I'm interested
court orders.
in whether you participated in the willful violation of court orders as alleged in this complaint. Let me ask you
Absolutely
this, Mr. Bove, if there are notes of that meeting, will you provide them to this committee?
I defer to the committee and to the executive branch on the procedure.
And if the committee requests them, will you provide those notes to the committee?
I defer to the executive branch on the handling of that request.
And let me ask you about notes from another meeting, which you're contesting here, and that is the meeting over the decision to dismiss the case in New York, the corruption case against the mayor of New York. According to Ms. Sassoon, the U.S. attorney at the time, during the meeting with Adam's attorneys, where she described Adam's attorneys repeatedly urging what amounted to a quid pro quo, that you admonished one of the lawyers in the room to stop taking notes. Is that true?
I don't believe I instructed that attorney to stop taking notes. I did remark on the fact that he was taking extensive notes, yes.
And why did it concern you that he was taking notes of that meeting?
Because at that point in the meeting, we were discussing who was responsible for media leaks, and I was making the point that only the prosecutors had created an extensive record that could support detailed leaks.
And you were concerned, were you, that information about this potential quid pro quo might become public? Was that the concern?
I've explained that there was no quid pro quo.
Will you provide the notes of that meeting, which you, according to the U.S. attorney, instructed be collected at the end of the meeting?
I think a member of my staff may have given that instruction outside my presence, and I defer to the committee and the executive branch on records requests and how those should be handled.
Well, I would request that we seek these records, which go to the truthfulness or lack of truthfulness of this witness. There's a reason why, if I may, my colleagues have gone over at least as much as this. There must be a reason why prosecutors quit rather than following orders from you they considered unethical. There must be a reason why prosecutors complained about you in your own office, why defense attorneys complained about you in your own office, why the judge in the case involving the dismissal of the charges in New York said everything here smacks of a bargain. You testified earlier that the objective evidence overwhelmingly made it clear that it was not a bargain. That there must be a reason why everyone disagrees with you, Mr. Bove, and people feel it necessary to give up a job they love at the Department of Justice and quit because they won't go along with what they consider unethical and immoral orders from you. There must be a reason why that is so true of so many, and this court needs to get to the bottom of it. I yield back.
Thank you,
May I make
Senator
a
Cruz.
parliamentary inquiry?
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've requested the notes from two pivotal meetings that go to the heart of the nominee's credibility. The meeting over the decision to drop charges against the mayor of New York, and the meeting in which the whistleblower alleges that the nominee suggested ignoring court orders and telling the courts essentially, fuck you. The witness has said that the decision whether to turn over those notes will determine or depend, I guess, on whether there's an assertion of privilege of some kind. And we have the great good fortune at this moment to have the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General here with us today. We can resolve this right now. I would ask through the chair whether the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General will approve the provision of these notes to the committee. They could be provided to the chair and the ranking member in camera if necessary, so that the question that Senator Kennedy asked about whether there was some illicit bargain and that my colleagues have asked can be resolved. If there are detailed notes of these meetings, it will give us an answer to who's telling the truth here. So I would ask the question through the chair of the witness. Given we have the Attorney General and Deputy Attorney General here, will the Attorney General and Deputy Attorney General make these notes available to the committee so we can determine who's telling the truth here?
For the record, and certainly any requests for information can be submitted to this committee, and they will ask for those. Thank you so much. We're also going
Madam
to turn it
Chair.
over to Ranking Member Durbin, who had some letters, I believe, he wanted to introduce for the record.
Well, I'd like to join Senator Schiff in his request.
I think that if these notes exist, they would answer the questions which the witness was unable to answer. And I think there would be a lot of clarity in that situation.
Well, that will be noted, Ranking Member, and we will add you to that request.
The questioning centered on a whistleblower's complaint, alleging that Bove, Trump's nominee, suggested the Justice Department should consider defying judges, literally telling the courts, quote, "F you." When pressed under oath, Bove denied it, but his defense was weak. "I don't recall." Let's be real, if you told government lawyers to ignore a court order, that's not something you just forget. Unless, of course, this is the kind of loyalty over law culture Trump rewards. Senators then zeroed in on another allegation that Bove pushed for detainee flights to take off no matter what, even though a judge had ordered them stopped. He tried to lawyer his way out, calling it a mischaracterization. But again, he couldn't give a simple yes or no. And the scandal doesn't stop there. In a separate corruption case involving the mayor of New York, U.S. Attorney Sassoon testified that during a meeting with the mayor's lawyers, Bove told someone in the room to stop taking notes. Think about that. In a discussion about a potential quid pro quo, Trump's nominee allegedly wanted the records silenced. Bove insisted it was about preventing leaks, but multiple DOJ prosecutors quit under his leadership, saying his orders were unethical and immoral. Judges have called his deal smacking of a bargain. And yet this is the person Trump wants to elevate inside the Justice Department. Senators have now demanded the notes from these meetings to prove who's telling the truth. But Bove refused to commit, hiding behind executive branch procedures. If he's innocent, why not hand over the records? Why does nearly every whistleblower, judge, and prosecutor contradict Trump's nominee? Here's the bottom line. Bove isn't just another DOJ official. He's Trump's nominee. And his testimony raises a chilling question. Does Trump want someone at the Justice Department who will protect the rule of law, or someone who will protect him at all costs? But what do you think? Should the Senate block Trump's pick if he can't answer these questions under oath? Or is he simply unfit for the job altogether? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. And if you want more hard-hitting breakdowns of how Trump and his allies are trying to reshape our institutions, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Blue Wave Report, and turn on that notification bell. Until next time, stay sharp.